Absolutely fucked.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire.
Just for other KTM 990 owners, I am getting an ECU kind of restart or a short when turning the handlebars. Now I've actually had a bit of an issue replicating it, which is Murphy's Law, but like I've seen before on one other video, the wire that actually goes into the back of the ignition column where the key inserts, you can see this is all split just here, if you can see, and it does actually short. If I kind of move that cable around, it will actually short out. It's just not playing ball at the moment, so I'm actually going to strip that cable back and see what I can do. But there's a panel, there's a plastic panel that inserts there, and it is basically putting far too much pressure on the cable and causing it to crack and short. You can see it there now. So I'm going to strip back that outer, the black outer stuff, see what condition the cables are in. I don't expect them to be in good condition. My problem was that it was initially doing this when you turned the handlebars while maneuvering, say, the bike into a parking spot. It has become more grave in a sense that it's literally just off center, so the bike could literally kind of just die while driving it. Luckily I haven't had that happen at any sort of high speed, kind of sub 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers an hour. But I would not like to experience it at high speed. I would get thrown off the bike. It's okay to be able to grab the clutch quickly at low speed, but you would not grab it quick enough at high speed. So yeah, so I'm going to have a look at that and see how I get on. I've gone and I've stripped back this outer kind of casing protecting stuff that was on it. You can see here clearly that one of the wires that leads up to the base of the ignition barrel here is cut, was probably being squashed against the frame. That's my smoking gun for this. The rest of the cabling actually looks pretty good. I can't see any issues here. I don't think this is part of the main ignition. So yeah, I am going to go and look at removing this from here, putting it on a new cable, and splitting this cable here, putting in a new piece, a new cover here, and you know, basically putting a new length of cable in here. And when when I put this casing back in, the cover that goes in over here, putting it in a little looser, I'm actually going to consider one of the other guys whose name escapes me. I found his YouTube video, so I credited him with pointing me to this potentially being the problem. What he suggested was maybe getting a Dremel and cutting away one of the corners here to kind of give a little bit more slack and movement to the cable. I'm actually going to do that. There is a Torx screw that goes in the center here and attaches the plastic to the other side. It was obviously being over tightened and allowed limited movement to the cabling, which has ultimately ended up in this kind of, the outer core getting cracked and that getting pinched there. If it will focus, if you can see it. So yeah, so I'm going to work on that. I'll let you know how I get on. I have snipped the wire. I've put a joiner in between the two here and clamped it Not as ideal as replacing the whole cable, but I'm a little unsure about getting into the base of this and what I'm going to find. So that's what I've done for now, and I'm just putting in some heat shrink wrapping around it, and I will see how it goes. I'll put this back into its fixture, and then hopefully that should resolve the issue. So I had gone to the trouble to split this wire, put a join in, and already, as you've seen, had started to put some covering over it, and realised that there's another issue. Let me just see, can I get this sorted? So I'm going to plug this back in. There we go. And if you listen further up the cable, there's another issue. So I'm going to have to investigate that. I've taken the base of the barrel off. It comes away with there's 2 screws. Come away with those. Then you have to take the bottom piece off. That in itself will try your patience. There's 3 kind of clips that you do, and if you have a look in here, I have found my particular issue. If it'll focus, there we go. That wire is pretty badly frayed, and most of the core is broken, and I'm assuming it's shorting in places, so I hope you can see that. So I'm going to go and start stripping that and see how I get on. Okay, back not even a minute later. I have, you can see here if the fucking thing focuses. Yeah, that's very frayed. I've pulled back the covering, and just bear with me 1 second. There we go. Even worse. Is my issue. Absolutely fucked. Both of those wires. So those will have to be replaced. This fix has grown legs, and replaced right the way from the base here, if you can see it, all the way down to this little harness plug. So I've got some soldering to do. But yeah, if you are having shorting issues, finding your ECU or the bike just resetting, and then even while you're moving, say manoeuvring in a car park, turning the handlebars, that kind of stuff, this is the place to look. The harness that comes out of the frame and up to the base of the ignition is obviously too tight, and there's no movement there, and these things are eventually fraying and shorting. So that would be the first place to look. My issue was that this was starting to happen when I was barely turning the handlebars, and when it happens at very low speed, the bike comes to a very sudden stop and I have to clutch in. I would not like this to happen at high speed. I don't think I'd be left on the bike. So yeah, I'll check in later on. Maybe an hour and a half later, I had to run to the motor factors and get some electrical cable. Unfortunately they didn't have orange, so I've gone for green and replaced the orange with blue. So you can see I have soldered some new points here. I hope the fixing seemed good. I just have this mounted in a little project vise. I have, let's see, get that out of the way. I have heat shrinked the full length of the cable, and I've replaced the cable fully all the way to the connection. So I'll reseat this and try it out on the bike, and hopefully that is fully fixed. Hey guys, a little dark here. Yeah, so you can see I have reseated the base. Here's my replacement cable. I've given it a little bit of extra length. I just have it on the outside of the fork for the moment. Just temporarily testing it. And I've connected it up there, reseated it. Already a good start because it's not actually coming on. It was shorting so badly earlier it was coming on without the key. So let's have a look. Okay. And no issues there. Let's have a look at the cable. We've just moved the cable. This was giving terrible trouble earlier on, just even moving the cable. And it seems to have sorted. What I've also done, I'll show you here, is the panel that goes on the side. I have dremeled off the edge of it. Make sure you smooth out the burr, the plastic burr, so it's not cutting any cable. And once you replace that, the cable should snugly come on the outside of it. I'll just show you that once it's fully replaced. Okay guys, last post here. Yeah, so you can see there now, hopefully if this bloody thing can focus, I have put the side paneling back on. The cutout here gives a little bit more freedom for that cable to move, and it's not so fixed, so I think that's going to help. Yeah, so that's it. I would advise anyone else with this is a 2012 KTM 990 Adventure, anyone else with the 990 to just have a look, especially if you do your own kind of pre-tour checks or anything like that. It's definitely something to look for. This would have pretty much disabled me on a recent trip. Luckily it didn't, but I noticed it started playing up a lot worse a couple of days ago. So definitely want to check out before you take a big journey. And yeah, no further issues there. Thanks guys.